Obviously, our New York Comic-Con panel was a really important topic to us, right? Like super close to our hearts as a studio and as a game, Sea of Thieves, right? Is that ever since the start of Sea of Thieves, right, we've always had this vision of creating this type of multiplayer experience that takes the best thing about like shared world games and those encounters with other players, but maybe reduces some of the barriers to entry for players, right?
We wanted to make it more welcoming and friendly, and we wanted to bring people in to this kind of nice environment and hopefully turn around some of those expectations or preconceptions that they've got about multiplayer.
Early on, we learnt, like when we were prototyping, experimenting with lots of different ways to do this, right? Because we wanted to give as much freedom to players as possible, right?
Yeah. We wanted to let you do anything initially.
Yeah, and we soon learned that that wasn't the path to crew harmony, right? So like when you could first get the treasure chest, and it was individual pieces of treasure that you could take out or you could share.
And we had friendly fire, and you could kill people on your own crew, and it became kind of the done thing that was, you were always waiting for the knife in your back. Like unfortunately, it wasn't a rare thing that we thought it would be. It happened all the time, and then as soon as we as soon as we made the unintentional, as soon as we made the design choice to switch to basically an ethos where the crew bond is absolutely sacred, and everything between you and your crew is this kind of shared cooperative thing, but then other people and other crews, that's where you get all that part, that's where you get the pirating, that's where you can put the knife in the back. But within your crew, it's sacred. As soon as we switched to that, it made it the game that we wanted it to be.
I think that's what makes it a multiplayer game that I think if you've not played multiplayer games before, or if you've been put off by toxic or competitive games or experiences, that there's much more of a chance you're going to come into Sea of Thieves and have a really fun experience where your crew will welcome you with open arms because you can contribute equally.
Absolutely, and that was really important to us, that it's not a traditional game where you need to have a certain amount of skill or a certain amount of experience. You could come in day one and go up in the crow's nest and you end up being the most valuable person on that crew because you spotted something that no one else did, and I think we're really unique in that sense.
Yeah, and so some of the new features we showed off at New York Comic-Con, right, there was the small ship, right, which for us, that's not just kind of a different way to play, but it's an avenue into multiplayer, right?
Definitely. For people, we know that there are people out there who might look at Sea of Thieves and think that's like the type of game that I want to play, but I'm not really sure about playing with other people. And although you're always in a shared world, you can go on the small ship on your own and kind of get a taster and see what's going on, but you can also matchmake with just one other person, and we hope that that's a way that you can maybe build a bond with just one other person, and then maybe you graduate to a large ship together, you become friends.
Yeah, I would love to see that, and I think with that small ship we're going to be putting that into our alpha fairly soon and testing it with all of our our insiders that are playing, and it's going to be fascinating to see how many start playing with the small ship, how many do a mix between both, how many maybe bonded with another small ship player in the world and you've teamed up against the bigger ship.
I think that's the idea. You get two small ships with two people crew on, and then they go onto a big ship together. That would be awesome to see.
At the start of the project, we've been, since the start, we've been using verbal communication to communicate within the game, but we've always known that there needs to be an alternate way to communicate, and whether that's because as a player you don't feel comfortable identifying yourself or talking on an online environment, because in some online games that can be a problem, right? And people can use that to attack you or to kind of like try and harass you or anything, and we know that that can be a problem. But also maybe you don't like to talk, or you maybe have a speech disability or a hearing disability,
or maybe it's even situational, like maybe you've got kids asleep and you can't, like you normally do, but you can't this time. Like there's a ton of reasons why people might not be able to use their mic. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so the non-verbal communication system has been kind of requested by our players, and it kind of, for some people it might be an avenue for them, again, like the small ship is an avenue to kind of come into a multiplayer game, this could be an avenue to start communicating with others, start building a bond, start making friends, and then maybe you feel comfortable enough, if you're able to transition across to voice chat.
So as much as we endeavour to build everything with this social like bonding and the crew bond being sacred, we know there are still occasions where you might get someone on your crew who's not partaking in the cooperative nature. And we wanted to find a way of dealing with that so that you could deal with these people, but it was crucial to us that it had to be in-world and it had to feel like it fits Sea of Thieves. So our solution to that, which we talked about at Comic-Con, was that we allow the crew to vote like an uncooperative player into the brig.
The way the brig works, like you vote as a crew to put someone who's being unruly or kind of not cooperative or is constantly dropping the anchor or pick whichever of your favourite feedback topics about unhelpful players in the alpha, right? And so you can put them into the brig, and you can go and laugh at them and
vomit on
them, like do whatever. But if they're sorry and you want to give them another try, then you can actually vote them out as a crew.
That was really, really important to us, that it wasn't kind of like a black and white, this a done deal, somebody's done something and that's it, they're out of the game. Like we wanted to give people an opportunity to learn from their mistakes. So they come into Sea of Thieves, maybe they are like upsetting the crew, but maybe they don't really realise the kind of the boundaries, and then they're put into the brig, they have a little bit of time to think about it,
exactly.
They get let back out, and then hopefully they'll kind of modify their behaviour, and it gives them the chance to do that.
So one of the things we were really excited to kind of reveal to everyone at the New York Comic Con was the Pirates Code that we've been kind of working on with our community. So, you know, we've had a hot topic in the forums where we were discussing like what are the things that are really important to you in a multiplayer game, in Sea of Thieves, about how people behave, about how they shouldn't behave. And so we've worked kind of really hard to craft that code in a way that's clear to players. And we're hoping that because us and our community have created this together, when it comes to kind of enforcing it, it's not just down to us, it's not just down to our customer service team, and you know, it's down to the players in the game. Like it's this Pirates Code that you're signing up to, and that you're role playing as pirates in Sea of Thieves, and you should be doing it in the way that is, you know, respectful of other players. And sure, be a pirate, right? There's a set of behaviours that you expect to be able to do as a pirate, right? But you have to do it respectfully, and you shouldn't be kind of being abusive or being, you know, like discriminatory or whatever. So
be a cool pirate.
There you go. Be a cool pirate. Yeah.